Good evening, everyone. My name is Willa Bao, a program advisor at the British Columbia Institute of Technology. Thanks for joining us this evening. We are using Zoom webinar, so you can hear and see the presentation, but we can't hear or see you. There is a Q&A function available, which I'll explain in a little bit. This session is being recorded and it'll be available on our YouTube page in the coming weeks. Tonight, you'll also hear from Alex Hebert talking about the course models, Stephanie Williams about some funding options, and Carmen Cotini from our Student Success Leadership team. For over 50 years, BCIT has taken an applied learning approach to education, meaning our students learn and put into practice the skills required for success in the industry. This has earned us an excellent reputation for producing graduates that are ready for the workforce. Hopefully, we'll answer your questions about how to start, advance, or change your career with the BCIT education. We would like to acknowledge that our campuses are on the traditional unceded territories of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam nations. So this presentation is an overview about how part-time studies works. Then we'll move on into details about what we offer and how to begin your education here. We anticipate that many of your questions will be answered during the presentation. If you do have a quick one, you can answer and ask through the Q&A function at the bottom or side of your screen. It's not designed to be a back and forth dialogue, so if you do have specific questions about your own circumstance, please contact us at Program Advising for some personalized assistance. Also, if you have if you want to know any more information about any of the things that I mentioned during the presentation, you can also use the search function at the top of our homepage, bcit.ca. So what is part-time studies at BCIT? We offer over 1,000 courses from business to trades, IT to health sciences. You can take individual courses or work towards a credential at a pace that's right for you. It's great for those working full-time or who are balancing other responsibilities in their life. It's great for university graduates or foreign-trained professionals to complement their previous schooling. Many programs simply require English 12 proficiency. It is expected that students have this minimum English proficiency to do well in their studies. You can start courses in any term, and program declarations are accepted year-round. Registration is on a first come, first served basis and on a course-by-course basis. Academically, you can decide how many courses you want to take. If you are an international student or seeking financial assistance, you might have to maintain a minimum course load. You have a 3 to 7 year maximum completion time for programs, but your individual completion time will depend on how many courses you take at a time. There are 20 to 30 students in each class, and they are taught by instructors that come from the industry they teach in. So they know how to design their classes to help develop skills that are key for industry. We are adapting our applied learning in formats appropriate for the global situation, and I'll have Alex speak to that.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Alex. I work at BCIT in the School of Construction and the Environment, and I'm also a grad from BCIT. I did a certificate part-time about 10 years ago, and I agree with Willa. I was working full-time at that time, so the part-time studies was a perfect format for me. If we can advance to the next slide, please. So when you become part of a part-time program at BCIT, you might be working with a synchronous, an asynchronous, and a blended format. So what are these formats? The first one to the left of the screen, your synchronous format, is all online, has a start and an end date. and comes with scheduled class time. So you have real-time interaction. So imagine that we are trying to replicate a face-to-face course, but we're doing it with tools like the Zoom system we're using tonight. So we have a way to have you meet with the instructor for a real lecture for group work and so on, which is quite different than the asynchronous format, which is also online, also comes with a start and an end date, but doesn't come with scheduled class time. So you have to kind of be self-motivated and self-paced going through the content, the quizzes and the exams. And finally, in some programs, there's a blended version that is truly a mix between online and in-person. The courses will also have a start and an end date, and the details for the schedule will be provided to you on a case-by-case basis, and you'll be instructed on safety protocols for COVID. So the blended format is really for the courses that couldn't achieve the learning outcomes without some form of a presence in a lab or as part of a field trip. And the groups are usually kept to a smaller size for the in-person group with very well-defined COVID protocols. So when you look into your PTS, your part-time studies program, you have to look into which of this format is and if whether you think it's a good fit for you or not. If we move to the next slide, please. We, in all cases, have a central learning hub that every student gets access to. So very quickly, if you look at what you see on the screen, there's a red rectangle that shows that we have actually accessed the learning hub. And if you look at the middle of the screen, just under the small blue BCIT logo, you have course home, you have content, activities, and grades. Really what you have is under one roof, access to virtual classrooms, quizzes, assignments, discussion forums, and course content for your reading. So this is where you go to do both the synchronous and asynchronous activities. And so in a nutshell, so the Learning Hub is central to all PTS studies. And I think that's it for me.
Thank you, Alex. We also want to note that historically, not all programs at BCIT were offered online. So though we currently offer most of our programs online, we can't confirm what the future delivery models will be. So now that you've learned what part-time studies is and how it works, we'll go over how you can start. So again, just as a reminder, this session is being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube page. So here's a roadmap of how you can start, and I'll go into detail about each section further along. So first, you can choose a program or course. You can browse through our programs and courses through that link that's in blue there. And it's important to look to see if there are any entrance requirements. Another way to inform yourself is to attend an online info session, and I'll be highlighting some that are coming up. Your next step would be to either register or declare. To register, you do so online or on the phone. You will need your BCIT ID to do so. As I mentioned before, it is on a first-come, first-served basis, and it's important to check for any prerequisites. And you can do so through the course registration page. It's important to know that you must pay upon registration in order to secure your seat. So we compare it to online shopping in that you add whichever classes you want to your cart, then you go check out, pay for the classes, and then you're registered. We recommend starting with 1 or 2 courses first, And then after your first term, you can decide whether you want to take a lighter course load or a heavier course load. So if you've enjoyed your classes and you want to pursue a program, you can go ahead and submit an online program declaration. It's important to do so as it ensures that you are enrolled in the program. It guarantees that your program requirements will be honored in case there are future changes to the program. BCIT updates its programs from time to time to make sure that they are current with industry. If you are requesting for recognition from prior education, you will also need to be declared in a program. And again, if you are seeking financial assistance, you will have to be declared in a program. So as a reminder, the session is being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube page. So here are the 6 sectors that we offer courses and programs in. If you're an international student, it's important to check the list that is linked on this slide for the programs that do fulfill the study permit requirements. With any study permit inquiries, please direct them to the International Student Center, and you can find them on our website. So at BCIT, you can build upon your credentials in a laddered model, meaning that you can work from a smaller credential to a larger credential. You can start with certificates, which are short but specialized training programs that combine applied theory and practical skills to work in a particular field. Our associate certificates are anywhere from 4 to 8 courses, depending on the program, and our certificate programs are usually 15. Diplomas are more intensive, longer programs of study that prepare you for employment in a variety of occupations. We offer bachelor degrees in part-time studies in all 6 sectors. Advanced studies are designed for college, technical, institute, or university graduates. It's highly specialized advanced training that builds upon students' prior education and experience. We offer 3 master's programs in applied science, engineering, and science. It is important to look at the program pages for the specific entrance requirements. So now here are some details about the different sectors. Applied and natural sciences, these are advanced studies and bachelor programs. For the forensic investigation bachelor program, there is an info session on January 18th. Again, it's very important to check the program pages for the entrance requirements. Business and Media offers 300 courses and over 50 programs in those areas listed on the slide. There are a number of info sessions coming up next month. So December 14th is for accounting, finance, and financial planning. December 15th is for HR, human resources, leadership, and management. December 16th is for marketing, and December 17th is for operations management. And you can find these all on our website. Some featured business programs are accounting. So this is an area that follows that laddered model in which you can start with an associate certificate, go on to a certificate, a diploma, all the way to our Bachelor of Accounting degree, should you wish. Business analytics teaches students to harness data and improve productivity and decision-making within their organization. Human resource management also follows a laddered model. You can start with the associate certificate, then move on to the certificate. Currently, the certificate covers the functional areas that are required for the National Knowledge Exam. That is one of the requirements for the CPHR designation. Marketing communications is relevant to any industry that requires public relations, digital global advertising, promotions, or branding. Project management is a popular program because it's applicable to almost any industry that requires projects to be completed efficiently, on time and on budget. Computing and IT offers 500 courses and programs in those 6 areas that are on the right. They also offer laddered credentials in their programming. So you can go from associate certificate all the way to a degree through their laddered model. They will provide details in their info session on the 26th. Also want to mention that for most of the computing programs, they do require students to complete a course or 2 ahead of time. So please attend their info session for full details. Technical writing info session will be held immediately after the computing one. So the pandemic has accelerated an already growing industry in IT. So the future looks great, and it looks like there are many job opportunities available. Engineering provides a wide variety of courses and programs in those areas listed. In construction, there are programs for operations, supervision, safety, and management. Our interior design programs are very popular, and it also follows that laddered model. You start with the certificate and then move on to diploma, all the way to the bachelor degree. Sustainable energy management is also a degree program. So again, it's important to check the program page for the requirements. The Lower Mainland's construction industry is very busy, as you can see with all the projects that are going on around town. That means there are many employment opportunities, especially with the retiring workforce. As an essential service, construction is operating strongly during the pandemic, building safe and secure infrastructure, as well as contributing to our local economy. Health Sciences has a number of part-time programs as well. Occupational Health and Safety Certificate, that is very relevant nowadays with the pandemic. Workplaces, organizations have to come up with safety plans. The Health Leadership Advanced Certificate is for healthcare professionals that want to lead high-performing teams, or for professionals in related fields that want to pivot to healthcare. Specialty nursing programs are available to registered nurses to specialize in a variety of fields, such as emergency, neonatal, pediatric, nephrology, and more. We offer individual courses in trades. So if you're going for your Red Seal endorsement, we have courses to help you prepare for that exam. We have courses that cover the Canadian Electrical Code, fire alarm installation, among others. We have courses for machinists, or for those that do automated control installation and maintenance. Gas fitting, power engineering certification, we have courses for that. And we have a number of courses in transportation, which I will highlight. So again, as a reminder, this session is being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube page in the coming weeks. So for transportation, whether it floats, flies, travels by rail or road, BCIT School of Transportation is your best choice for a career in the transportation industry. And we are constantly evolving, as demonstrated by a course that we are developing in electric vehicle maintenance training. You do have to be a Red Seal mechanic in order to enroll in that course, but we have many other courses that are listed on the slide. There are more courses in these areas listed here. Technology management is a bachelor degree that is specifically designed for tradespeople and technical workers who are looking to move on into management positions by earning a degree. So we get a lot of questions about how to register for courses. So you can register for courses that are offered 3 times per year. The specific registration opening dates are posted online. So if you search registration dates on our website, you'll find them there. You will need an English proficiency, as mentioned earlier, as well as meet any prerequisites that are specified on the course registration page. If you don't have that English proficiency, you can upgrade at BCIT. And if you're a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, you can take those upgrading courses free of charge through the Adult Upgrading Grant. The links to those are on the slide. The total tuition cost of a program is the sum of the individual course costs. You pay for courses on a course-by-course basis each term that you register. For international students, currently, the tuition is 3 times the rate listed. And I will give you a quick live demo of some program registration pages, course registration pages, rather. So I hope you can all see this page. It says Principles of Management at the top. And
might be worth mentioning to people that they should be putting their questions in the Q&A, not in the chat, because we're getting quite a few questions in the chat. So if people please ask their questions in Q&A, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Yes, so again, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, if you do have a quick question, you can use the Q&A function that's at the bottom or the side of your screen. And again, if there are questions that require some back and forth or dialogue, please contact us at Program Advising and we can provide you with some one-on-one assistance. Okay, so I hope you can see this course registration page. Here is where you register for the course. There are a number of important places to look for information. At the top right, there's a books and supplies section, which will let you know the required materials. For winter 2021, the textbook lists should be available on November 21st. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the offerings for each term. Make sure that you are on the winter 2021 section if you're looking to start this January. For courses that have a specific day and time listed, that means it's a synchronous course, as Alex mentioned earlier. Again, it's important to look at the notes section to see if there are any additional instructions. As we scroll down, there is a section, so it's the same course, but this one has no days and no times listed. This shows that it is an asynchronous course. There are some courses that have both a synchronous and asynchronous component, as shown in this course registration page here. You'll see that there's one section that does have a day and time, and then one section here that doesn't. So it's important to look through the notes section to see exactly what the format is and what is expected of you. And thirdly, there are some courses that do require an on-campus component, as Alex mentioned. And you can tell by looking at these dates here. There are several dates listed, as well as through the notes section. It does indicate that there are in-class dates at the Burnaby campus, for example. So this notes section will give you more information about what is expected of you. So now we'll go back to our presentation. And on to the next slide. So right now you should be seeing a slide that says declare. So to submit a program declaration, you do so through your My BCIT student account. You go under the admissions area and then make sure you select Declare a Part-Time Studies program. The processing time is approximately 8 weeks. It does not affect your registration, meaning that you can register for courses as your declaration is being processed. You don't have to wait. So now before I introduce our next speaker, again, this session is being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube channel. So now I'd like to invite Stephanie Williams to come speak to us about your funding options in part-time studies.
Sure. Thanks, Willa. So for funding for programs through part-time studies, the first thing that's really, really important, and Will, I'll just have you go to the next slide for me, is to make sure that the program is eligible for funding. BCIT has many, many programs delivered through part-time studies, and while many of them are eligible for funding, there are also a number that are not. So I've provided you the link where you can go to find out if your program is on that eligibility list. The list is done by credential level, so you would see the degrees listed first, and they're all then, the programs are listed alphabetically, followed by diplomas and then certificates. So one of the requirements for applying for financial aid is that you have to have declared a program. And in the earlier slide, it was mentioned that it takes approximately 8 weeks. So the department recognizes that there is a process that has to happen there. So if we can see that you're in the process of that application, it may not have been assessed yet, that will be sufficient for one term. So it's really important to ensure that you've declared that program and then that the courses are part of that credential that you have declared. In terms of funding that's available for students, if you are taking courses and your credits for your total of credits is between 3 and 11.5 credits, then you would be eligible to apply for part-time funding. And for part-time funding, you are eligible for up to, and it's dependent on your income, $3,600 in grant funding and an additional $1,000 of BC grant funding. If your income is higher, it would be given out as loan funding instead. The part-time funding covers tuition and books, as well as there's an allowance for transportation and miscellaneous costs that you might have. Within part-time studies, you can, of course, take multiple courses at one time. So if you were going to take 12 credits or more during a semester, then you would be eligible to apply for full-time funding. And for full-time funding, there are grants and loans as well. And the assessment also includes living costs. So if you would like more information on the part-time grants as well as the application, I've provided the links there for you. If you have additional questions after you've had a chance to look at that, take a look at emailing us at finaid, FINAID, at bcit.ca, and certainly we're more than happy to help you. Thanks, Willa.
Thanks, Stephanie. So another option to fund your education is through sponsorship. This is separate from student financial aid and awards. It's handled by a different area. So basically, sponsorship is where an employer or an organization such as WorkBC, EI, or WorkSafe BC can be billed directly for your tuition costs. The steps are outlined on this slide here. It is very important to have this in place with your employer or organization before registering for courses because the paperwork is time sensitive. So handing in that letter of authorization either the day of or latest the next day is required to secure your seat. Alternatively, you could pay for your courses upfront and then seek reimbursement afterwards. Also, the BCIT bookstore is not currently invoicing employers or organizations directly for textbooks. So you'll need to make your own arrangements with that yourself. So now I will welcome Carmen Cotini to talk to us about resources to help you succeed in your studies and career.
Hi guys, so I'm Carmen Cotini. I'm the Assistant Director of Housing at BCIT, but I'm here to talk to you about kind of the broader student services that we have at BCIT. I'm also a PTS instructor, so I definitely get the PTS student need, if you will. So Willa, if you want to swap slides for me. So BCIT has a bunch of supports that are here to support you for kind of a myriad of reasons. So if you're not sure what service might be right for you, you can first contact our student life office, and they can give you an idea of what kind of services we have available, what might be a good fit for you. We also have this cool thing called Early Assist, and Early Assist is in place so that if you're really struggling in your courses or kind of with something going on with you in your personal life, or if you know someone in your class that is, you can put in an Early Assist report, and we can also reach out to them and support them with additional services. Well, if you want to move to the next slide. So I'm going to kind of walk you through a couple services we have that are available for PTS students. So one of the first services we have is accessibility services. So this service is here to kind of empower you to overcome barriers during your studies. So this might be that you have an accessibility need. So if you're hard of hearing or hearing impaired, and sometimes it's something as simple as you broke both your hands in an accident and you need some help kind of maybe with some online components, or if you have an in-person component, something like that. This is the service area that can help you with that. Something good to know about the service area is there is some documentation requirements. So I always say it's best to check out their website to see what kind of documentation you would need to access their service. But it's a great service to put in place kind of prior to starting your learning if you can, but you can definitely do it throughout the course of your learning as well. Another service that we have is student health services. So this is a confidential medical care service. So it's kind of like having a walking clinic on campus that's only there for students. So you get to talk to a doctor or a nurse. They are currently available for in-person, but only with an appointment. But they deal with a myriad of issues, kind of starting with sexual health, injury and wound care, immunizations, and a bunch of other procedures. We also have counseling and student development. So this is free and confidential one-on-one counseling. So it's one-on-one. They can help you with personal challenges, professional challenges, and they're really just here to support your growth. So again, I would say refer to the website and you can make an appointment online with them or give them a call. They are doing video counseling services right now and services over the phone. At this point, they're not available for in-person counseling services. On the academic side, we also have the Writing Center and the Trades Learning Center. So the Writing Center is here really to help you with your technical writing, your business writing, your academic writing, assist you with kind of citations, stuff like that. They are available online through the Learning Hub. So that's where you're accessing any online courses you have. There, you can access the Writing Center through there as well. And the Trades Learning Center is really more for the trade students. So if you're taking a course that needs blueprint reading or something like that, they're there to help you with that and some trades math. Millie, you can swap it over. The next one is rec services. So we do have a gym on campus that is unfortunately currently not open due to the current pandemic. However, they have opened some awesome online activities that are free for students. So it's called Healthy at Home. And there's free fitness classes, there's workouts, there's tips and tricks. There's like healthy eating. They also have an esports league they've just opened up, and all of this is also free to students. And we will be starting up new classes and stuff in the winter term. We also have some career support opportunities. So we have the Center for Workplace Education, which brings employers and students together. There's Career Edge, which is something that has modules for students to work through. And then we also have eJobs, and eJobs is a place where employers can post looking specifically for BCIT students. So it's a great way to do some job searching. So maybe you're finished with PTS, or maybe you're starting PTS and at the same time you're looking for a new opportunity or a new career. eJobs would be a great way to go. The BCIT Student Association also has career services that support resume writing, interview skills, stuff like that. So I definitely recommend checking out their website. We also have Indigenous initiatives. So Indigenous initiatives has some funding opportunities for Indigenous students. They provide mentorship, peer-to-peer mentoring, wow. And they also have the gathering place on campus, which isn't currently open for in-person. And we have a sweat lodge, which also isn't currently open for in-person, but hopefully it will be soon. And then last but not least is my area. So we do have off-campus resources or housing resources for PTS students. So our on-campus housing isn't available for PTS students at this time because we're such a small housing operation, but we have a great number of off-campus housing resources available on our website. So if you're looking for housing off campus, we have different listing services available. We have some tips and tricks kind of how to sort out a good leasing opportunity and stuff like that. So I would definitely say check out our website for some off-campus housing opportunities. I think that's everything for me, Willa.
All right, thanks, Carmen. So if you have any questions that haven't been answered, or if it's not appropriate for the Q&A, you can always contact us at Program Advising, either through email, by phone, or Zoom appointment request. You would send your request to us through email, specifying the program or course you're interested in for part-time studies and with some preferred days or times. You can also leave a message at that number on the screen to request for an advisor to give you a call back. So for Part-Time Studies Advising, we can help you determine a program to meet your career goals, the course options and selection for part-time programs, applying for transfer credit. So again, recognizing coursework from previous education, your work-life balance while attending BCIT. And once you are in a program, we can help you make changes to your program plan. We can tell you about laddering options as well as program and course costs. So thank you for watching. And again, if you have more questions, as I mentioned before, you can attend an online info session or connect with a program advisor. So I hope this presentation has been informative and hope to hear from you through email.